If the film works, it is our film.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, it's Sooraj's.
No, it's Prince's film. He never gave me a Sanjay Leela Bhansali ka reference or any other kind of reference. He wanted to make his own film and he was stuck by his script.
He'll rise last, but he'll come. And that's what's going to happen. You mark my words. On the 24th, I don't know about the success of this film. Sometimes a great film, even though not successful, gives birth to a star.
Yeah.
His entourage is too much, his cost is too much, this is it, that is why he's not doing films and all, which is all bullshit.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to do Border 2 and others didn't want him to do that, he was targeted. We kept quiet, we said let time pass. Today he's a part of Border, he's a part of 2-3 other big films that he's doing.
Hi everyone, welcome to Indian Express. So firstly, I just want to start with my memory of him, which is like, of course, one has watched Mohra, Dhadkan, Border and all of that, but my memory of him is actually Main Hoon Na, and specifically that scene in the climax where he gives a warning to Shah Rukh Khan and says ki 5 minute hai na Ram, Baba intezar kar lenge, and that fight sequence that happens.
Yeah,
so I just want to ask you guys, what's your first memory of him?
Mine being Hera Fairy because as a family we've seen that film at least 1,000 times and we all enjoy it together.
Mine being Avara Pagal Divana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yedana.
Yeah.
Mohra.
Oh, nice.
Mohra and Gopi Kishan.
My father loves
Oh
Mohra.
yeah, Gopi Kishan. Mere do baap.
मेरे दो बाप.
Yeah, so one interesting thing about your career that I've been witnessing, when I was researching is something that you have always been very comfortable sharing screen space with, be it an ensemble cast or your second film in fact was with Akshay Kumar, and since then you have been doing 2 hero films. And one thing that has happened recently is now you're giving platform to new star kids or upcoming talents. So for instance, whether it was Ibrahim or Khushi in Nadania, or whether it's 2 of them here. So is this a conscious shift?
Of course, you have to accept age and you have to accept the fact. If I was a super successful actor, then probably I would think otherwise. But I wouldn't be uncomfortable doing films. I would be comfortable, so, provided that the subject provided us with this kind of platform and character. Yeah. If I've done this film, it's not only to promote young kids or to be a part of a young team, but to be a part of a great film.
Yeah.
You know, and
as it should be, yeah.
Yeah, and what happens is if the film works, it is our film.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, it's Sooraj's problem.
No, it's Prince's film.
So you get to share the failure part of it goes to the hero of the film, and the success maybe that was picture. Nobody can take that away from me.
Yeah.
But no, I'm kidding. Just a great subject.
One thing that I found common amongst you guys was, I think so, Sooraj, you started assisting Bhansali, you started your career with Guzarish, and I read somewhere that you decided to become an actor after watching Ram Leela by Bhansali. So did this ever come on while shooting it, or like did you guys ever chat about Bhansali or like your love for his cinema and all of that?
I mean, I just told her that I live in the same building as Sanjay Bhansali.
Yeah.
Oh my God, can I come and meet him? I said, no, you cannot. Of course you can't.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing we spoke about.
Yeah. So speaking of Bhansali, so making an historical is, of course, it comes with a lot of responsibility. So Prince, I really want to ask you this, whether you felt that sort of responsibility, especially as a genre, when we have had filmmakers like Bhansali, then there's of course Mani Ratnam, who has made Ponniyin Selvan, and like over the years we have seen such great historicals, and more recently we had Chhawa. So whether it was, you could feel that pressure while making such an important story?
Yes, because जब भी आप हिस्टोरिकल बनाने जाते हो एक प्रेशर और एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी अपने आप से आ जाती है, और इतने बड़े लेजेंडरी डायरेक्टर्स ऑलरेडी इतनी बड़ी फिल्म में बना चुके हैं हिस्टोरिकल, और कहीं ना कहीं हिस्ट्री के साथ आप हिस्ट्री को दिखाने जा रहे हो. तो ये कैरेक्टर्स और ये जो फिल्म का बैकग्राउंड है, सोमनाथ टेम्पल, महादेव की स्टोरी है, तो ये सब कहीं ना कहीं रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आपके साथ और ज़्यादा बढ़ जाती है. और इन दिस बजट हिस्टोरिकल फिल्म बनाना वो सबसे बड़ा टास्क हो जाता है, बिकॉज आपके पास सोचने का टाइम नहीं है, आपको चीज़ें करते रहना, बिकॉज टाइम इज़ मनी.
But let me tell you something about Prince. Till today on set or before we started shooting, he never gave me a reference of any other film.
Wow.
He never gave me a reference of maybe
which
a
is
bunch of-
actually so common in the industry.
Yes, I mean everyone's working with references. He
Yeah.
had his own vision, which I really hats off to him. He never gave me a Sanjay Leela Bhansali ka reference or any other kind of reference. He wanted to make his own film, and he was stuck by his script.
एक्चुअली मेरा वही था
And he has
from
great
start.
knowledge about whether you talk about religion, whether you talk about the culture of the country, whether you talk about the heritage of our country, anything and everything historical, he's well versed with it. So when somebody is so clear, then you see your own vision and carry your own vision. So I think all of us believed in our characters and went with that gut, saying, ये हमारे महादेव है, ये हमारा सोमनाथ है, और हम साथ देंगे. ये मेरी बेटी है, और उसके सुहाग के लिए मैं कुछ भी करूँगा, लेकिन बचाऊंगा ज़रूर नहीं. So I think each one of us went with our conviction.
Yeah. Another thing that I found very interesting between you and Sooraj was when I was researching, I came across like your first film never got released, the first film that you acted, and then uske baad you were subjected to a lot of criticism by the critics, but it's unimaginable now to imagine at that time you were subjected to so much criticism and the quick turnaround you have had, and you have created history. So, and like with Sooraj has had his own shares of difficulties. So what was your advice, and when you look at him, what do you...
I think, I've taken away a lot from him rather than giving it to him. 10 years, how can a boy be still so calm, so respectful? See, it's how you take criticism also. Could have said things, but he never said a word. And that's the sign of a gentleman. That's the sign of a warrior. That's the sign of someone who stepped back and is looking at everything to understand and learn. And the minute you do that, it's phoenix from the ashes only. That's Sooraj Pancholi. And that's how I see him. So that's what I would tell Ahan or tell anybody else. यार छोटी-छोटी चीज़ों के लिए अगर आप upset हो जाओ, just look at this boy. Look at what has happened with his career. He's there. He's last. But he'll come. And that's what's going to happen. You mark my words. On the 24th, I don't know about the success of this film. Sometimes a great film, even though not successful, gives birth to a star. It happens with girls also a hell of a lot of time. And this is going to be one such thing. He's done his job diligently, decided that my work is going to talk, my bat is going to talk, and that's the way it's going to be.
You mentioned Ahan, so I just want to quickly know what was your advice to him when you were starting Border 2? Like,
he was obsessed with doing Border 2, and he gave up so much for that. Got criticized also. Said his entourage is too much, his cost is too much. This is it. That is why he's not doing films and all, which is all bullshit. Because he wanted to do Border 2 and others didn't want him to do that, he was targeted. We kept quiet. We said, let the time pass. Today he's a part of Border. He's a part of 2-3 other big films that he's doing. Big from a subject perspective. Big not from a size perspective. Size, I've always said, Ahan, this should be the price so it looks like you've given a larger hit. So don't think about your money. Think about a tight film. And so there's so much going on. And for me, he's taking the legacy forward. We may be a small part of Border if we are, but he will take that legacy forward.
Lastly, I just want to... A lot of people have talked about Hera Fairy and Priyadarshan, but I specifically want to know about Neeraj Vora, the great screenwriter he was. You have worked with him in a lot of films. Hera Fairy he directed. He was also in Halchal. He wrote Halchal and Chup Chup Ke. So what memories you have of him?
Oh, he's the best. He's unbelievable.
And we sincerely miss him as a screenwriter.
Yeah, absolutely. If you talk comedy, it's Neeraj Vora. The kind of person he was, the energy that he had, how he did things, how he and Priyan got along. It was just eye contact, and they knew what they wanted to tell. And teams like that don't come together. It was Neeraj Vora, it was Jeeva, it was Sabu Cyril, it was Priyadarshan, it was Akshay Paresh, myself. Jeeva, we've lost Neeraj. Huge setback. But I think in their memory, films are being made today, and Priyan sir would always say, write like Neeraj, no. Write no like Neeraj, which nobody can do. And that's why they say, there are characters that will always stay etched in your life forever.
I wish all of you the best of luck for Kesari Veer and can't wait to watch it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.